Okay, Kelly McGee.
Sashi Puki Jukshin Meto Tram Vira Blingshi Nyande Genpati Sangre Shingu Mikte Uargi Jokun Namdak Shinra Chuparsho Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami Sangye Chudang Tsoki Choknam La Jangchu Bardu Dakmi Kyabsu Chi Daki Chenyang Gipe Sunam Ki Drola Penshir Sangye Drupar Sho Sangye Chudang Tsoki Choknam La Jangchu Bardu Dakmi Kyabsu Chi Daki Chenyang Gipe Sunam Ki Drola Penshir Sangye Drupar Sho Sangye Chudang Tsoki Choknam La Jangchu Bardu Dakni Kyabsu Chi Daki Chenyang Gipe Sunam Ki Drola Penshir Sangye Drupar Sho.
Shok. All right. We're doing a quiz. I was too busy to study. I'm not doing the quiz, okay? I confess. So I got to close my eyes when I open it so I don't see the questions. Although I'm pretty sure I know what the questions are. Okay. Here we go. Wait. No, don't. No. Oh. All right. Going to start the quiz. Quiz 3, right? Here we go. Closing my eyes, kind of. Uh-oh, saw everything. I still study everything, okay? All right. Give you like 10 minutes. Good luck. Hello. 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 Acabaste? Terminaste? Is everybody done?
Yep.
All right. Let's begin class 4.
I have a question word.
What?
Vow number 14, when
Yeah.
it says affirming that
Yeah.
someone cannot get rid of desire and the rest by following the way of the learner.
Yes.
The way of the learner is the same as the listener.
Yeah, here it is in Tibetan. Nyan.
Nyen.
Yeah. And this mu means putting it down or something, dissing it.
So here learner is just another word for listener, right?
Yep. Nyantu. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure why Geshe-la chose learner, not listener.
Okay.
Yeah. It might be in the original course 7. I don't remember. Yeah, you say you can't get to nirvana by the listener path, blah, which you
Don't
can't.
listen to that Abhidharma.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're basically, because this vow number 14. Vow number, I guess that's the only one, because this one is like you diss the lower. Oh, this one's you diss the higher path and go to the lower path, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, you just say basically you say the lower path that can't do what Lord Buddha said it would do.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is not true. Okay, here we go. Woohoo! Any other questions? Otras preguntas? Por favor. Neo Mayo Wenti. That's for Yinghui. Okay. Okay, class number 4. So this is the second part of class, a review of course number 7, which is on the Bodhisattva vows. So we're continuing. And now, I mean, you got to think about vows in general. I mean, what are like the 4 basic things about vows? I mean, what are the 4 basic steps to vows? I mean, logically, maybe you don't have it memorized, because I don't, but I think I remember logically. Go ahead. What's the first step for vows?
You want to keep them.
Well, you can't keep them if you haven't
Studied them.
If you don't have them.
Oh, if you don't have them, yeah.
You have to get them first, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to know, and then what?
You have to know them.
Yeah, you got to know what they are, right?
Yeah.
And then what?
You must be willing to keep them.
Well, you got to know how you would lose them, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. And then you have to keep them, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, there's a specific thing in the Vinaya, which is like, the text on Buddhist ethics and morality. But that's the basic flow. Okay, so this class talks about what it takes to lose a root downfall. And Well, actually, how do we lose any? How does it go again? I don't think this review goes over it, but basically what it takes to lose a root vowel. And it's really hard, okay? It's really hard. Okay, so here we go. Question 1. Name the 4 chains. Now, chains here is a translation of, what is it a translation of? My God, my brain. Oh yeah, Ching. Ching in Tibetan. Like Chingjul means like, who's Drolma?
Tara.
Yeah, exactly. What does Tara mean?
Takes you beyond.
Yeah, frees you, liberates you, right? So if Ching means fetters and Drol means liberate, what's Ching Drol mean?
They liberate you.
From the chains.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, fetters, it might be a better word, but no one uses that in English much.
What's the word again? Sorry.
Fetters.
Fetters.
Yeah, so Geshe used chain. Fetters feels more like the sense of it, but no one uses that word. So Geshe will use it in certain translations, but it's just like handcuffs or something like that. Okay. Or shackles, maybe, if you know what those are. Okay. So name the 4 shackles, okay? The 4 mental afflictions that bind you and which must all be present in order for a major instance of these afflictions to occur, which destroys one's root vowel. Okay? Okay. And you need less of these to destroy a secondary vowel. I think you need 3 of them to destroy a secondary vowel. But I forget which one is are. I haven't studied that in a little while. Okay, you are willing to commit the particular wrong deed again. Okay, so this makes sense. Like, I mean some of you have kids. Rivas has kids. Okay, but he's on the thing, but we'll talk about his kids. I mean, if Rivas's kids, Alexito and Emma, get in a fight or something, I don't know if they do. They're really nice kids. But if they did get in a fight, I mean, what's the first thing after the fight that any parent is going to make the kids do? No one has kids? Come on.
Apologize.
Yeah, of course. Right? Because that shows some kind of, like, basically, like, you're not going to do it again, right? Or that's the wish, right? So, like, it's meaningful. It's not just something parents do. I mean, you want the kids to basically be like, or you explain to them why it's wrong. When you hit Alexito in the head, it hurts. His head is like your head. He feels things when you punch him. That's why he starts screaming. So don't hit him in the head. Then you get them to say, I'm sorry, okay? So you don't break the vow if you think to yourself, oh, oops, I accidentally praise myself and criticize others, which I do all the time, okay? Aldo, my class is better than yours. Ha ha ha. See, I just did it. And then I have to be like, I would do that over and over again. My class is always better than Aldo's. His will never be better than mine. Ha 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 ha. Okay? Which you basically have to like turn into an evil supervillain to break your root vowels. Okay? Really, it's hard. Okay? And my class is not better than Aldo's. Well, it just depends on your karma, right? Okay. So so that's the thing. You're willing to commit the particular wrong deed again, right? Okay. Second chain, which is more like the apology than the first, I guess, is so in the Abhidharma, they say that with every wrong deed that you can do, that there's 2 things that could not, if to do a wrong deed, there's 2 things that were not in your mind. And Geshe translates them as shame and consideration. Okay. In Tibetan, literally, shame means hot face. Ngotsa, like your face would get hot, like you would blush. And then trelme, this one, trelme, means you're without consideration. I'll give someone $20 if they can tell me how to say consideration right now in Tibetan. If trelme is lack of consideration.
Trel.
Almost. Time's up. Trail you. Remember Tibetan class all summer long? You means to have it or something. I gave you a chance. Okay. Anyway, so that's basically it. Like, you do not have any shame, which means, oh yeah, shame and consideration here are technical terms. Shame means when you think of yourself, your own self-image of who you are, you think, oh, I would never do, like, that's not the person I am, right? Like, say you yelled at your mom, like I did a couple days ago, and you think, oh no, I messed up. I yelled at my mom. That's not what I want to do. I had some kind of shame in the very technical sense, in this Buddhist sense, okay? Not the bad kind of shame, okay, that therapists talk about. That's a different thing. Okay, and then consideration would be like, wow, if Geshe Michael was in the room, would I have yelled at my mom? Like never, right? So that's someone who you respect. If they were watching, what would you do, right? Or what they think of you. So in that moment, I didn't think about Geshe Michael being in the room. So I had trelme. I was just like, I just went off. But if I had one thought of holy Geshe Michael, I would have kept my mouth shut, you know? For instance. Okay, so that's consideration. You consider how someone else whose view you respect or who you aspire to be like would think of you in that moment. All right. So to break the vow, you have to basically at no point after committing it ever think to yourself, no, that was bad. Okay. Or like, oh, that felt bad. Like I shouldn't have done that. Okay. I apologize to my mom. Okay. Okay, everyone, don't judge me. Okay. C, you derive a sense of enjoyment and satisfaction out doing the wrong deed. Okay, so this is like more like evil villain kind of territory. I can't believe you guys don't know who Thanos is. Does that? We're gonna have to have, if everyone in this class doesn't know who Thanos is, we're gonna have to have a movie night. Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to watch Endgame, which is like the most important movie of the 21st century. Okay, so far. I mean, until the next Avengers comes out. Okay, anyway. And like, yeah, again, you have to be evil. I have to be like, yeah, my mom deserved that. Ha 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 ha. And like, like be insane about it, right? And this is going into like kind of like maybe like sociopathy, right? Like, if you know about sociopathy, which I recommend studying, okay? You know that one of the key traits of a sociopath is they might, or maybe it's psychopath, I don't know, there's a line there, but they gain enjoyment from doing horrible things to people, right? Or they don't have any shame or consideration, or both. So don't be a sociopath, okay? Be a bodhisattva. Okay, D, you do not consider thee to be wrong. Like, of course I should criticize Aldo. It's true. I'm better, right? or whatever thing you're doing. So this is very hard to do. You have to like basically have these in your heart for like all eternity and never think once, or at least until you die, never think once to yourself, oh, I shouldn't have praised myself and criticized Aldo like once, or have 1 ounce of remorse cross your heart, okay? Which anyone who already took the Bodhisattva vows, pretty much that's not going to happen to. But if you're that special case, here's the things you should do, okay? Just fake it till you make it, all right? All right, those are the 4 chains. That's how you break your Bodhisattva vows, specifically a root downfall. You have to break all. Yeah, it's all 4 to break a root downfall, and I think any 3 of them to break a secondary. But you can't lose your Bodhisattva vows by breaking your secondary vows. Okay, only a root vow.
Except
All right, 2.
Right?
Huh?
Except 8, 9, and 18.
Yeah, for 9 and 18, you don't need all 4 of those. You're totally right. What is vow 9 and what is vow 18? Ria, if that is your name.
Holding wrong views. Number 9 and number 18, discarding the wish for enlightenment.
Yay! I'm still a better teacher than you. Why? Joking. Why is it wrong to be overly comforted by the fact that if you destroy a root vow, you can take it over again? Okay, okay, this is what Jason Kappa says, and this is pretty heavy, so sorry. If you break even 1 root downfall completely, says Jason Kappa, it is impossible for you to see emptiness of bodhicitta, that is, to attain the first bodhisattva level or bhumi in this life. Ooh, that's sad. Whatever collection of virtue you have to see emptiness cannot be increased further, and you lose any ability to create whatever kinds of this merit you have not already attained. Uh-oh. It also makes it very difficult for you to meet spiritual teachers in the future. No. Basically, it just stunts your whole spiritual life. Okay? If you don't know, that's bad. That's what Jason Kappa says, and he is really smart. I'm pretty sure he was enlightened. Okay, 3. Name 3 different ways that a person can lose his or her bodhisattva vows. A, holding wrong views. As the magnificent Aldo just said, it's root downfall number 9. B, giving up bodhicitta, or the wish to reach enlightenment in order to be of help to every living being. This is the same as formally giving the vows back. Okay, that's vow 18 of the root downfalls, as Aldo said as well. Or C, break a root vow with all 4 chains present. Here's a random question. What's the ways to break the pratimoksha vows? Come on. Aldo, somebody.
What's the question again?
What's the way to break your pratimoksha vows, your freedom vows? How do you lose your freedom vows? What?
By breaking the vows.
No, how can you lose your freedom vows? There's like 4 ways.
Laziness, forgetfulness.
No.
Like formally giving them up.
Yes, that's 1.
Oh yeah, that one.
Riva said dying, right? You only have them for 1 lifetime. Is that one?
Yes, dying. Yes, good.
I don't know what else.
One has to do with your gender or something like that.
Yeah, changing your sex.
Yeah,
Changing your sex
3 times.
3 times or more. Yeah. So to all my amazing transgender friends out there, if you have these vows, don't don't go crazy, okay? Just go. You got 2 chances. All right. After that, sorry, okay? So Lord Buddha had you in mind, okay? He was looking out. All right. Next. 4, describe the kind of person you must be to break one of the rules of body and speech out of compassion in certain very extraordinary circumstances. Oh yeah, this is a famous story. Do you guys know the story of the ship captain? Really? All right, story time. Long, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was a young boy on Tatooine. Wait, no, that's a different story. That's Star Wars. Oh yeah, the Buddha in a past life was a ship's captain. His name was Satsavan. Yeah, Satavan, something like that. Satavan. And apparently he was a high bodhisattva. He was not only a ship's captain, which is hard enough, okay? Especially like back in the day, you know. You could get scurvy, you know that? Okay, anyway. He was also a high bodhisattva. And so I feel like I heard this story a couple different ways, but I'll tell you one of the ways I remember it. Basically, on his boat was a bunch of like high beings. Like he was transporting like a bunch of like bodhisattvas or aryas or something, you know, some high karmic cargo. And and there was apparently a murderer on the boat. And I don't know how Captain Sattvavan figured it out or whatever. Maybe he was telepathic. But he realized that he was going to try to kill a bunch of like the bodhisattvas, the aryas. Okay? I don't know. It's like a bunch of like crazy people threatening to kill your government legislatures and going en masse to the capital of your country out of some misinformation. I don't know if that would ever happen in your country. Okay, so he says he decides he's gonna stop him, because why would a bodhisattva want to stop somebody from killing a bunch of aryas and bodhisattvas?
That's a really bad thing for somebody to do.
Yeah, what's going to happen to that person if they do that?
Hell.
Go to hell.
Yeah. So is there you have good motivation to stop them from?
Yes.
Okay, so he had a good motivation, but apparently he had no resort but to kill the person. Okay, and so that's breaking a few vows, right? But he had to make a call. Sometimes really hard situations, you got to make a call, okay? And I mean, if you're a bodhisattva and you're good at meditating, it's easier to make hard calls, okay? Because you can concentrate better, all right? Anyway, he killed him. But the requirement to be able to make, I'm not advocating you killing anyone, by the way, okay, YouTube. Okay, Aldo, I see that look in your face, all right? I'm not giving you permission. What I'm saying is, due to the fact that he was a bodhisattva on a super high level, it said on that level, you can actually help guide a person's mind stream to like a Buddha paradise or something, to like a higher realm. So I don't know if that's true. I'm not on that level yet, but basically you have to be able to do something like that to break vows, to do things like If it's between, okay, I'm gonna break this, I'm gonna do this thing, or this person's gonna go to hell for endless eons, and he's gonna kill a bunch of Aryas and Bodhisattvas. All right, I want to do the thing. What do they say happens to a Bodhisattva who does a bad deed like that? Do they go to hell? Yeah.
Like
Bounce. Just a quick bounce.
Yeah. Yeah. Geshe-la calls it a basketball trip to hell. You just you go, and you come right back, okay? So that's what they say. All right. So you have to be basically, if you have to ask yourself, am I on a high level? You're not, okay? Like you'll know, okay? I've met some lamas and they know, okay? They know. So if you're like, am I on the level I could break the, don't do it. Just stick to giving potatoes, okay? You'll know when you're there, okay? And then when you are, you'll do extraordinary things. So describe the kind of person you must be to break one of the rules of body and speech out of compassion in certain very extraordinary circumstances. Holy Geshe Michael says, you must be a bodhisattva who's very well versed in the path, having practiced it for millions of years. If you're wondering how you know if you'd practiced for millions of years, then you're not on this level, okay? Okay. Who has great compassion, who possesses skillful means, and who sees that there is no other alternative. Okay? Hard call. Got it? I'll take that as a yes. Is everyone awake today?
Yay!
Kind of. Okay. Luna's awake. All right. Okay, here we go. So this is called the 4 points of practice, and it's part of the secondary vowels. We don't go over all the secondary vowels in the review course because there's a lot of them and there's only 2 classes per course. But as a reminder, how many secondary vowels are there?
46.
Yay. How many root vowels?
18.
How many, Aldo?
18.
Yay. What's 18 plus 46?
64.
Yay. Okay. That's how many Bodhisattva vowels there are. But if there's only 64 vowels, how come it's like 138 commitments or something in the ACI tradition?
Some of them have a lot of parts.
Exactly. Okay. So the 4 points of practice is 1 secondary vowel, but it has 4 parts. Imagine that, 4 points. I don't know. Seems pretty clear. And these are cool. I mean, they're all cool, but these ones are cool because they really tell you about the nature of human life. And it's so true. I mean, if I walked up to some random person on the street in Mexico, I mean, anywhere, but I don't know why I'm saying Mexico. Maybe because, okay, if I walked up to some cholo in Mexico, okay, like some tough dude, right, some vato, and I just came out of nowhere and punched him in the face, I mean, what would he do? I mean, 99% probably.
Stab you.
What?
Stab you.
Probably. Probably something horrible like that. I mean, he would respond in kind, we say in English, right? Not kindly. In kind in English means similar, Rivas, if you didn't know. Okay? He did. Okay, good. It means the same way. Okay, so the 4 points of practice are basically about not responding in kind. Because what does responding in kind create?
Same karma.
Yeah. What's a Sanskrit word for this?
Samsara.
Yay! Exactly. Samsara, which is the cycle of I punch you, you punch me, someone punches me, I punch them, I punch you, right? Basically. I mean, there's 12 links and it's a little different from that, but that's basically the deal. Because like creates like, creates like, creates like, creates like, right? Okay. So Lord Buddha's like, all right, there's 4 ways specifically that don't do the like. I mean, don't ever do it, but especially these ways, okay? When someone that yells at you, don't respond in kind by yelling back, okay? Especially if it's your mom. Right, Mom? She said right. Okay? When someone gets angry at you and puts you down, don't respond in kind. Right? When someone hits you, you don't respond in kind. What did Jesus say? Someone hits you.
Put the other cheek.
Be like, get this one too. I want them to be even when they swell in the morning. Right? Turn the other cheek, which maybe you could say present the other cheek, okay? That's a whole thing, but it's the same concept as far as I interpret. And then when someone criticizes you and points out your faults, you don't respond in kind. And anyway, even if you don't have Bodhisattva vows, and even if you're not Buddhist, if you're a grown adult, probably should have picked up on this already, okay? It just creates problems. If anyone is at least so upset that they'll criticize you or yell at you, or so immature that they would, what do you think's gonna happen when you yell back at them? Escalation, right? And this is what creates wars. It's the back and forth, right? Oh, you do that to us, we're gonna do that to you. We're gonna do that to you, we're gonna do that to you until like, all right, fine, we're bombing you. Oh, really? We're bombing you. And then the bombing begins. Until someone runs out of bombs or someone gives up or something. Okay, that's the 4 points of practice. And I just remember the beginning part. I just say yelling, angry, hitting, criticizing. Okay, number 6. Explain what the protector, Maitreya, advises we should do if we find that some Buddhist teaching doesn't suit us for now. I think I talked about this. I think I talked about it last class, but I definitely talked about it in this course 17. We have 2 words for this answer. Give the 2-word answer first. Anybody?
Shelve it.
Perfect. Exactly. Now this is the explanation. If there is some point within the teachings which you cannot understand or which you have doubt about right now, then leave it for the time being. Be careful not to decide for sure that it is wrong or reject it, since this would be a serious bad karma. Rather, shelve the idea for now and decide you will come back to it later when you get more information or have a thought about it longer. And let me say this, I mean, this doesn't just go for Buddhism, this goes for other religions. I don't know, I've read parts of the Bible and some of it seems quite, I don't know, arcane or not really, doesn't seem like it's that helpful. But that's to me. Just because it's not doesn't seem helpful to me doesn't mean it's not going to help someone else, right? And so if some part of the teaching isn't for you, or you don't understand it, or whatever, that doesn't mean someone else out there can't get great benefit from it. So basically say, I don't get it, I don't know, whatever, and just read the other 9 million lines of scripture that could help you. But just don't diss it. Don't be like, that's dumb. Okay, which I've done. Aldo caught me once, and we laughed about it because we were talking about not doing it, and I did it, and then he's like, "That's doing it." I was like, "Oh, I did it." Oops, criticized. I confess. I did everything bad ever. Okay, just so you know. All right, so now. Name the 4 white deeds, and for each explain the black deed for which it acts as an antidote. Does he? Oh, I see. Okay, so this is a white and black deed. So these aren't officially Bodhisattva vows, but they go along with them. They're always included with them. And I love them. I mean, for me, the black and white deeds are this amazing bridge between the Bodhisattva vows and Tantra. I mean, all the Bodhisattva stuff is a bridge between Bodhisattva vows and Tantra, right? But especially them, for some reason, they just have this kind of flavor that I've always, I don't know, for some reason, been attracted to. So maybe you'll feel the same way. And I would practice them if you really want tantric vows or tantric teachings, tantric lama, especially in your house, okay? Who was asking about tantra? Ying Hui. Okay, I'll teach you a tantra right now. That means there's someone in your house that is teaching you how to become a Buddha. That's the whole thing. If you're not ready for that, don't take this vow, okay? It sounds better than it is.
I guess so.
The potential is high, but the potential for failure is also high, okay? Let me just tell you that. Okay. So here they are. Never speak a lie to any living being, even in jest. I don't know if I jest a lot. I don't know. Maybe this is like trying to trick them. I hope it is, because my 2/3 of my life is jest. If you hadn't noticed, I know you don't laugh, but I laugh. So, but basically, just never lie. I don't know. A long time ago, I used to lie a lot when I was a kid. I used to lie and I used to steal a lot when I was a kid. And then, I don't know, sometime around age 20 something, 22, I think. I was like, I don't want to lie anymore. And I try really hard not to. I mean, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes something might slip. But I don't know. It makes your life so much better. Because I remember being a little kid. Let me see. I was either 5 or 6. And even then I was lying so much that I started to forget which thing was true. That's bad, okay? I was like, wait, which is the true thing again? I was like, uh-oh, this is not good, okay? So, but if I have a feeling that one of the karmas that happens if you don't lie is you understand the truth much better. Like true things just come to you or something like that. In another tradition, Paramahansa Yogananda said, if you don't ever lie, the things that you say are all true. Meaning so there's 2 ways to say that. Like the fact that they're not false. The fact that whatever you says it will become the truth. You know, like I will, you know, I'll become a bodhisattva. And because you never lie, everything comes out of your mouth is true, then it's like, it's true. And this this fifth chakra is called Vishuddhi. Like should means like purified or something. And I think it has to do with if your speech is so pure, then the things you say like come to be. There's a famous story. Maybe I'll tell you another story. I'll tell you part of it. There's a famous yogi named Charangi. Has anyone ever heard that? Charangi? He's in a tantric lineage, okay? This person, Keith Doman wrote a book about the Mahasiddhas. And Geshe taught this in a yoga class, so I can teach you guys. He taught it openly. Anyway, Charangi means 4 limbs. Anga means limb, like Ashtanga, or Sarvanga, Shalambhasana, which is shoulder stand. Anga means limbs. Charangi means like 4 limbs. Yeah, like Chaturanga Dandasana. Anyway, slow Sanskrit. It's a long story, but basically Charangi was a prince, and I think his mother died, and his father, the king, needed a queen, so he remarried, and he remarried a younger woman. And so at some point the king like went away on some trip or something, and when he was away, the queen got a fancy for Charangi. She liked him, and Charangi was very virtuous, and so she tried to make a move on Charangi, like sexually, and he said no, and she was so enraged by being rejected that she accused Charangi of raping her or something like that. And since she was queen, the ministers had to listen to her, and they took Charangi out to kill him. But everyone in the kingdom loved Charangi, so they wouldn't kill him. They're like, we can't kill Charangi. They're like, well, let's just cut off his limbs. And because in that day, supposedly, if you were missing a limb or deformed, you weren't allowed to be king or something like that. I don't know much about that, but that's if I'm remembering correctly, that's what Holy Geshe Michael said. And anyway, he and so they took him out in the forest and left him for dead. Okay, so he was there, and he was a high yogi, like a high bodhisattva, and he never lied. So he was so, I might be missing some points of the story, but anyway, he was very powerful, but no one knew that. And I think he was like king of Kalinka. He's like, oh yeah, you want to cut my arms off? He's like, okay, go for it. Anyway, some people came by and they were burying a chest of gold for the king. And as they passed by, they heard a voice, and they thought it might be a bandit. And the voice is like, well, what do you have in that chest? And they're like, coal. We just have a lot of coal. And he was like, oh, you have coal? He's like, okay, you have coal. And the guy's like, okay, let's get out of here. And they get back to the kingdom, and they're like, sire, we have the gold, right? And they like open the chest, and it's full of coal. And they're like, what? And they were like, wait, well, it was gold when we left. They're like, wait, that guy in the forest must have been a yogi. We lied to him. Go back, go back. So they went back and they're like, Mr. Yogi, remember when we said it was cold? We kind of lied because we were protecting it. He's like, oh, well, what was it? He's like, it's gold. He's like, well, then it's gold. It's definitely gold. And then and they opened the chest again and there was gold in there. They're like, oh my God, thanks. And they went back, okay? And that story actually gets more amazing. It involves two more masters from the lineage, Matsyendrasana and, oh my God. Oh, my brain just did something. Gorakshanath. Yeah. And that's a longer story. Maybe I'll tell you one day. Anyway, don't lie to people. Next. Oh yeah, and the opposite. So that's the white deed, and the black deed is intentionally deceiving your lama or any other holy being. Okay, so you know who your lama is, right? How do you know if the person you're deceiving is a holy being or not?
We don't know.
Oh, that's a problem. So who should you deceive?
No one.
Dun 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 dun. Okay, there it is. The karma for lying to holy beings high. Have I done that one? Probably. If I did, I confess. Sorry. Okay, B. Bring other people to strive for the Bodhisattva ideal of total enlightenment. Okay, that would be like on a Monday night when the last thing you want to do is interact with humans. You go on Zoom and teach a review of Course 7, okay? And then put it on YouTube for other people to watch. Or what's even better way than teaching? What's the best way to have to get people to strive for total enlightenment?
Get enlightened ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. So we just say be the example, okay? Because in English we say talk is cheap. Especially from New York, okay? Talk is cheap. People can say whatever. Not that words don't matter, but doing it's a whole different thing, okay? I've been studying the Dharma now with Geshe Michael and ACI for 10 years. Yay! A decade. It's been quite a ride. And you know, sometimes I've studied really hard and a lot. And a lot of this stuff bounces around in my head. But actually practicing it sometimes, I mean, when that person's in your face yelling to really say, what were the 4 points of practice again? Oh yeah, if they yell at me, I'm not supposed to yell at them, okay? Because your whole body and mind, I mean, usually wants to get them back. And you always come up with some excuse, some rationale, right? It's okay to, it's horrible. Wait, Blue Lives Matter until you're starting a revolution, okay? For your dictator friend. Okay. No, really. People have noticed. They're like, what about Blue Lives Matter? How? Okay, a police officer was killed in this insurgency in the United States a few days ago. And the same group of people that are usually talking about how much the police matter killed that person. Okay, so it's easy to rationalize whatever you need to feel right or to feel justified, okay? It's hard to actually hold to these ideals when the time comes, especially when you don't benefit. because that's called politics. Only do what benefits you. That's politics. And no matter where the wind blows, the political winds blow, you just keep switching sides. You just, whatever's going to benefit you, you just say that, okay? And hope people have short memories. Okay. And this is the antidote for causing a person to regret a virtuous deed they have done. Because the most virtuous deed to do is striving for the Bodhisattva ideal. Why should we even strive for Bodhisattva ideal? How come we can't just, you know, give away some money and, you know, feed the homeless and.
Because we won't rest until everybody's enlightened.
But why? Why does it matter? What's wrong with just feeding them and just giving them clothes and houses?
That won't last.
What do you mean it'll last? You got clothes? Got a house? Houses last.
Yeah, they last for a little while, but you know, you might not be able to stay in the house like for that long. Or I might not be able to.
But so what? Everything runs out, right?
Well, that's what we want to stop. That's the suffering that we want to stop.
How would being a bodhisattva stop that suffering?
We'll teach them about emptiness and seeds.
Quiet your mouth, Aldo. I'm talking to Leah. I almost got her. Leah, go.
Okay, you said why would being a bodhisattva why would being bodhisattva matter? Because we can get out of that suffering forever. We can get out of that wheel for forever.
Oh, really? How's that work?
We just have to do, you know, like one thing to stop the cycle, and that's taking refuge in a path that'll get us out of the wheel altogether.
But our hearts are out of the wheel altogether. So why do I have to be a bodhisattva?
Let's see. It's not just all about us. It's we are other people. Other people are us.
Okay, good. Here, I'll elaborate. Thank you, Leah. And thank you, Aldo. Basically, the idea is this. Leah's right. Whatever you give somebody, if you give someone clothes, they get old. If you give someone food, that only lasts a few hours, okay? If you give someone money, they'll just spend it on Amazon or something, you know? The idea is, if the seed to become a Buddha is bodhicitta, the desire that all beings should be enlightened. And if you can become a Buddha, you can spontaneously appear to every single being on earth in every form that they are ready for at the same time. Which is, so you can be, Geshe always talks about the bus. I don't know, you can appear on the bus right beside them and whisper in their ear. Or you can be that guy who punched me in the face in California. Okay, I love you. And maybe teach me about patience or something, okay? You can be everything, everywhere, for everyone. So, and then you got a chance to help some people. Okay, that's why. Okay, C, try to see every person or thing you encounter as being absolutely pure and conceive of every living being as the teacher himself. Okay. Tantra. Okay. Here it is. Here's the C. You want to learn about Tantra, Yin Hui? Do this. But here's a question. I'll ask Yin Hui since
Okay.
is every person or thing you encounter absolutely pure?
It depends on our projections. So,
Is it or not? Yes or no?
we should see as pure. Yeah, yes.
No, I didn't say should. I said is, not.
Mm,
Bosher yin guy.
yes.
Is it? So everything around us is pure?
Yes.
So samsara is pure.
Think so.
You think samsara is pure?
Why not?
Why are you taking this class? You should be at the beach. If samsara is pure, you don't need this class. Right?
We can make it pure.
I didn't say make it. I asked, is it pure or not?
Maybe it's not. That's why we are here to learn how to achieve enlightenment.
You just said it was pure. So you're changing your answer? It's not pure? So it's not pure.
I mean, it's all about seeds, right? So it's
Yes
really
or no? Pure or not? Come on. This is debate.
yeah, yes, it's not pure.
Okay, yeah, I already defeated your yes answer. Now we're going to say, no, it's not, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you're telling me things aren't empty?
Yes.
Things are not empty.
Things are empty.
Okay, so let me review. So you're saying everything in the world is not pure, but everything is empty? Yes or no?
Yes.
Ah, got you. If everything's empty, that means everything is pure of having a self nature, right?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, there it is. That's the argument. So even the way you see things is based on your seeds and your karma. You were about to say that, I know. But the reason, but we could see things pure or as pure if we had different seeds, right?
Yes.
So therefore, attempting to see things as pure is a seed to see them as pure. Hence this white deed. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, and the opposite is saying something unpleasant to a bodhisattva out of anger. Okay? Ying Hui, how do you know if you said something unpleasant to a bodhisattva?
How do I know if I say something out of anger?
Impure to a yes, out of anger to a bodhisattva.
I would know myself, isn't it? Like, I should know myself. If I can identify that I'm saying something to bodhisattva out of anger, I should know what. If not, I won't be able to identify that anger, isn't it?
No, how do you know if someone's a bodhisattva?
Sorry?
How do you know if someone is a bodhisattva?
I should treat everyone as a bodhisattva.
Right.
We won't know whether they are, but we should treat them as a bodhisattva.
Right. Because how can you tell if someone's a bodhisattva? Can you?
We can't.
Yeah. 不可以. We cannot. So you should treat everyone pleasantly.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, Buddha.
I'm definitely not a Buddha, and I definitely don't treat people pleasantly, especially my students. Okay, good. But why are they opposites? That's a good question. Did we lose Aldo? Aldo, you taking a nap?
Here,
Why are those two things the opposite? Aldo?
which things?
Why is this white deed and this black deed opposite?
Because the white disc is the antidote for the blacks.
I know, but how is being unpleasant to a bodhisattva the opposite of seeing your world as pure and conceiving of every living being as a teacher himself?
Because if you're conceiving the world as pure and everyone as a teacher, you're seeing them as bodhisattvas in a way.
Kinda, but what happens if you get angry at a bodhisattva? That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, if you get angry at the bodhisattva,
Mm-hmm.
very bad karma.
Yeah, it's like the worst, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's like the opposite of seeing your world as pure.
And if you do that very bad karma, you will see a lousy world.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I think. All right. How many more of these? Okay. 10, 11. Okay. We're still on time. Okay. D, maintain an attitude of total honesty, free of any kind of deception towards every living being. That's pretty amazing. Like 2 of these basically involve not lying, right? So that means not lying or telling the truth is a very powerful seed, right? This is the antidote for acting in a devious way with anyone without any sense of personal responsibility for their enlightenment. Why should you have personal responsibility for their enlightenment? Why is that relevant here?
Because you're a bodhisattva.
Yeah, they're bodhisattva vows. That's the whole point. Okay, if you're wondering, you're like, what are they talking about? And if you want to be bodhisattva, be prepared to be mistreated, okay? At some point.
But how is he connecting acting in a devious way and not having a sense of responsibility for somebody's enlightenment?
Because if you're involving yourself in things like deception, I mean, you're almost definitely exclusively thinking about your own needs, not the needs of someone else. Like if I'm trying to trick Rivas into giving me a bunch of money so I can go to Vegas and bet on black, I'm not thinking about Rivas, for instance. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I guess like lying, it means, yeah, like our priorities are flipped in that minute. Like if you can't both be concerned with somebody's enlightenment and lie in the same instance.
Exactly. Sounds good to me. Okay. Oh, the Tibetan is cool. Kun means everything. Kun la, la's the like preposition. Yogyu. Yo means yo and gyu basically mean to, how do you say? Engañarse in español, no? Engañar? like to trick somebody or to cheat them or to fake, or like scam. And may means not. So not scamming everyone is my very rough translation. Okay. Describe the 5 steps involved in keeping Bodhisattva vows well. Oh, this is what I was alluding to earlier. Respect the speech of the Buddha. Think of the vows as a gift given to you personally by an enlightened being. I mean, did the Buddha himself give you these vows if you got them? Kelly says yes. Leah says no. You're both right? I mean, there's an argument for both. Okay, so Leah says no. Why did you say no, Leah?
I guess I was just thinking historically, it's part of the lineage. Somebody's.
Right. You got them from like Hector or something, right? Who gave you the vows?
Lindsay and Hector.
Okay, good. Right. So, I mean, Hector could be a Buddha, but he's not like necessarily the Buddha Shakyamuni, right? So the Buddha didn't give you the vows, right? In that sense. In that sense. Okay, cool. Now, Kelly McGee, why'd you say yes?
Because the Buddha's the one who taught them.
Okay, good. So you're both perfectly right. And there's another thing, because Buddhas are omniscient, right? Which means they see past, present, and future simultaneously, right? Which means they did give you your vows. They were like 2,500 years ago. They're like, oh yeah, when Kelly takes that class with that weird guy Word and he makes all those bad jokes, then yeah, she'll get the vows or something. Okay. Like he had you in mind personally. Okay. That's one way to look at it. Okay. Maintain the 3 intentions. Intend to follow the vows because an enlightened being gave them to you. Intend to become enlightened and reach paradise. And intend to help limitless beings. All right. C, take the vows based upon the prior steps. Okay, this is the actual taking of the vows, the ceremony. And then once you've taken them, respect the vows as your most precious possession and the most precious thing in the world. And E, since the previous point, D is true, then avoid breaking your vows. Okay. This is like, I mean, most people's there's a survey that came out a few years ago, and they asked people, what's the thing you can't live without in the world? And like 75% of them said their phone. Not their child, not their mother, not their best friend, not food, their phone. Okay? So this is saying it's not your phone, it's your vows. I mean, if you want to become a Buddha and this is the way, then that follows. All right. 9. Can a person break a secondary vow out of mere forgetfulness, or does the motivation have to be one of the mental afflictions? Either. So if you forget your vows, especially secondary vow, you'll break them. All right, so confess and, don't do it again. 10, name the 4 typical causes why a person might break their Bodhisattva vows. These make a lot of sense. A, you don't know what they are. Okay, that's why we're taking this class. B, you know the vows, but you're careless, lazy, or forget and trying to keep them. That's the same as everything else, right? C, you know the vows, but you have an attack of bad thoughts and you break them because you can't help yourself. Okay, that's called being human, so that's going to happen. Just confess and stuff. D, you disregard the vows, you disrespect the vows and Lord Buddha. Okay? Don't do that. That's it. those 4. Yeah. Okay. 11. Name the 4 antidotes for these 4 causes. So the first one is not knowing the vowels in the first place. Okay? The antidote to that is become a master of the vowels. What is this tung? Tung la kepa? I think this tung, does this tung mean to fall? Doesn't it? Like fall into becoming a master? I don't know. Let me check in my dictionary.
Well, you're checking word. I just want to give a plug for like volunteering to like post vowels on any vowel chats. It's helped me so much to learn vowels.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Get your vowel chat on. I think this one means to fall. I don't know what its meaning is here. I know no one cares but me, but I'm gonna check anyway. Yeah, imagine that. It does mean fall, so it must mean something like to completely fall into becoming a master or something. Is there a secondary meaning? Fall. Just fall. Interesting. I'm learning, yay. Okay, B. Be mindful and catch yourself if you start to slip, right? So that's the opposite of slipping. The opposite of slipping is not slipping. This is very to the point, okay? C, identify your worst mental affliction and work on it. Okay, this is so you don't have, we call it klesha attack. Klesha is the Sanskrit word for mental affliction. And they happen sometimes. I had one the other day. Thankfully, they're rare for me, but they happen once in a while. I live with my mom, okay? Cut me some slack. Oh yeah, so this I call like, this one, identify your worst mental affliction, work on it. This I call the like girlfriend trick, okay? What I mean by that, and it could be boyfriend too, okay? I just use girlfriend because I'm a boy and I date girls, okay? There's kind of a joke in that you think you know what your worst mental affliction is, but you probably know like your second worst mental affliction. But the person who knows your worst mental affliction is your girlfriend. They might not tell you because they're nice, but if you want to know what your worst mental affliction, just ask them, especially if you live together. Just be like, what's the thing I got to work on most? And they're going to take out a list. They're like, I've been waiting for you to ask. And it's going to like fall down like one of those old like scrolls. And they're like, you want to know just the first one? Okay, well, we'll start there. And they'll, roll it up and say, tell me when you want to know the rest. But they'll know it, especially if you're married, right, Rivas? He's smart. He's not saying anything. He's smarter than that. Okay, so no, seriously, ask somebody. It doesn't have to be your girlfriend or boyfriend. It could be your best friend or, I mean, I should probably ask my mom at this point. All right, fine, I'll ask her. Ugh, you guys pressuring me. All right, and that way, I'm pretty sure she's gonna say my rage. Pretty sure it's rage. Okay, anyway, D, feel respect for the vowels based upon the results you get from keeping them. That's the opposite of disrespecting them. Imagine that. Respect is the opposite of disrespect. Yep. If anything, Buddhism's logical, okay? So don't disrespect the vows. Just think, I'm gonna become Buddha. This is awesome. This is worth it. Okay. You don't have to use that voice. Okay, I think that's it. Am I right? Yep. That's the end of class 4. ¿Tienes preguntas? Do you have questions? Neo Mayo Wenti.
That was really beautiful, the teaching on the black and white deeds. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. I like those black and white deeds. No questions. Fine. Okay. Well, we're moving right along here. I hope everyone's doing their homeworks and their quizzes. Wordy's didn't do his quiz yet, but he'll do it. Don't worry. I'm on it. De nada, Victor. Okay. So I'll see you Wednesday. Sound good? And we'll be doing class 8. Course 8. Class number 5 for this course. And it's all about the realms. So hopefully I get to talk about hell. I usually avoid talking about it because people are a little traumatized from Christianity, I think, but too bad, it's part of the teachings. Okay. Mandala? Who's gonna do it? Kelly McGee?
Sure.
Okay. Let's do this thing. All right, Miss McGee, take it away.
Sashi, Puki, Juchi, Meito, Rira,
Bling Shi Nende Genpadi
Sange,
Shindu Mikte Oargi
Joku,
Namda Shingla Juparsho
Irangu,
Yangura Namanda Kamiriatayami
Kewadi, Kewoku,
Ikewoku
Sunam Yeshe, Tokto Shen, Sunam Yeshe, Lejun Wei, Tampa Kunyi, Topar Sho.
Ok.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay. This means we only have what's 11 plus 7? 18 more classes, then we're done the ACI courses. Yay! Okay, stick in there. And Aldo and Rivas asked me to do course 16. I'm going to do it with them, but it's going to be more informal than this, if you can imagine, okay? So we're going to figure out a time, maybe during Mixed Nuts, because that might be the only time I have. So if you really want to be there, you can. I might not broadcast it. I don't know. We're just going to make sure Alex Rivas and Aldo finish their homework, because they've helped me many times, so I'm paying them back. All right? Cool? So we'll talk about that later. All right, you guys, you kids have fun. Go do something with a mask on. All right, buenas noches. Gracias, Rivas. Gracias.
Thank you. Buenas noches.
Okay, buenas noches. Thank you.
Thank you,
everyone.
Word. Buenas noches.
Gracias,
Okay.
Alex.
Thank
Bye.
you.